Good morning, students. A warm welcome to you all in online teaching session. Dear students, today we are going to start with the new chapter of your English textbook, that is chapter number 1.6, The Peacock and the Crane. So dear students, I request you all to kindly take out your English textbook, your English notebook, and carry pen and pencil in your hand. Students, I request you all to remove your page number 18 of your English textbook. Chapter number 1.6, The Peacock and the Crane. So students, this is a beautiful story about the peacock and the crane. You all know the bird peacock, which is the national bird, and the crane. So let's try to understand the beautiful story. There was once a very conceited peacock who had a gorgeous tail like no other bird. So, when he met a crane one day, the peacock scoffed at the crane's colorless and dull feathers and immediately spread his own colorful tail for the crane to see and admire. So dear students, first just underline the word conceited. Conceited means very proud. Very proud. Next, gorgeous. Gorgeous means very beautiful and attractive. Just note down the meaning. Gorgeous means extremely beautiful and attractive. Next, scoffed at. Scoffed at. First para, third line. Scoffed. Note down the meaning of scoffed at. Laughed at rudely and scornfully. I repeat, laughed at rudely and scornfully. Dull. Dull means unattractive. And just underline the word admire. Admire means what, children? Admire means to regard. Admire means what? To regard. So dear students, once there was a proud peacock and who had a gorgeous tail like no other bird. So as you all know, the peacock is very beautiful bird. That's why it's known as a national bird of India. So the peacock tail was more beautiful than any other birds. So for that purpose, peacock was very proud of that, because peacock thought that he is the most beautiful bird among all the birds. That's why it's known as the national bird of India. So when he met a crane, you know the bird crane. It's shown, the picture is shown in your textbook itself, the crane which is in white in color. The peacock is in colorful feathers and the crane, it's full white in color. So one day the peacock met a crane and the peacock scoffed at the crane's colorless and dull feathers. Scoffed means laughed. The peacock laughed at the crane's colorless and dull feathers and immediately spread his own colorful tail for the crane to see and admire. So as peacock was proud of himself, so peacock just laughed at the feathers of crane because they were colorless, they were not having any color, they were just white in color, and peacock's feather was very colorful, they were very attractive. So just peacock laughed at the crane's colorless and dull feathers and immediately spread his own colorful tail for the crane to see and admire. The peacock spread his own feathers so that crane would admire him. Admire means what? Regard him. Look at my feathers, he boasted. How they shine in all the colorless of the rainbow. While yours are so pale, I am dressed like a king. So, as peacock spread his feathers, so he just asked crane that look at my feathers, how they shine in all colors of the rainbow, while yours are so pale. Pale means, just underline the word pale. Yes, pale means dull. So the peacock, he spread his feathers and he just looked on the crane and asked that look at my feathers, they are so pretty, they are so colorful, they shine in all the colors of the rainbow. And he says further that while yours are so dull, I am dressed like a king. So as peacock was very proud of himself, so peacock says to crane that I am dressed like a king. My attire is like a king. That's true, the crane answered, but I can fly high above, among the clouds and the stars, and I can see all the beauty of the earth in all its glory, while you live down here just like any other cock. Fine feathers don't make fine birds. So dear students, first the peacock scoffed at the crane because the crane feathers were pale, dull and colorless, while the peacock had a gorgeous tail with colorful feathers. So when the peacock asked crane that just look at my feathers, they are so beautiful, they shine all the time in all the colors of the rainbow, and he further says that while yours are so dull. So the crane answered to the peacock that the crane said that it could fly high among the clouds and stars and see the beauty of the earth that peacock can't do. That peacock won't do all these things. Peacock can't fly high up in the sky. So the crane said to the peacock that what I can do that you are not able to do. I can fly high among the clouds and stars and see the beauty of the earth in all its glory from above. But you can't do all the things. You can't fly high up in the sky and see the beauty of the earth. So the peacock, in spite of its gorgeous tail, could not fly and lived down on the earth just like an ordinary cock. So the crane further says that the peacock cannot fly high above, whereas the crane can do all the things. He can see the beauty of the nature from the high above the sky. And he said to the peacock that because of this gorgeous tail, because of your gorgeous tail, you can't fly up and live down here just like an ordinary cock. Fine feathers don't make fine birds. So dear students, fine feathers don't make fine birds. This is a proverb which means that beautiful appearance is not enough. Another example I would like to give you all, that example of stag and his antlers. The stag was very proud of his beautiful antlers and ashamed of his spindly and ugly legs. So one day he was chased by hunters. His beautiful antlers got entangled in the low branches of a tree, and the hunters nearly caught and killed him. He got his antlers free just in time and escaped because his spindly legs helped him to run fast away from the hunters. So, fine feathers don't make fine birds. This proverb means that something that looks beautiful may not really be useful. So, outward appearance and beautiful appearance is not enough. Sometimes what seems beautiful may not really be useful. All that glitters is not a gold. Another proverb, like whatever the things are shining, it doesn't mean that thing is very attractive from inner side or it's useful for us. So never be proud of your appearance, of your beauty, because beauty is not enough, is not useful every time. Sometimes we should be kind to others, we should helpful to others. So dear students, I hope so that you have understood this beautiful story of the peacock and the crane. Now let's proceed to the last chapter of this unit 1. Chapter number 1.7. I request you all to take out your English textbook, page number 20, chapter number 1.7, Paramvir Chakra are heroes. I request you all to take out your English textbook, page number 20, chapter number 1.7, Paramvir Chakra are heroes. So children, what do you understand by the sentence Paramvir Chakra? What do you understand by this title of the chapter Paramvir Chakra are heroes? Do you have any idea what is Paramvir Chakra? So first, let me introduce you all the chapter name, the title, that is Paramvir Chakra are heroes. So students, Paramvir Chakra is an award. The Paramvir Chakra is awarded for the most conspicuous bravery or some daring or preeminent act of valor or self-sacrifice in the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea or in the air. Following categories of persons are eligible for Paramvir Chakra. That means the following categories, they are only eligible, they only can get the award Paramvir Chakra. Officers and men and women of all ranks of the naval, military and air forces, of any of the reserve forces, of territorial army, militia and of any other lawfully constituted armed force. See students, here the picture shown on your screen, it's the image of Paramvir Chakra. It's an award, it's a medal. So it is awarded by the President of India. Whoever is the President of India, the Paramvir Chakra should be awarded by the President of India. And it is which type of award? Military award. the Paramvir Chakra is known as a military award. Dear students, our nation has 21 Paramvir Chakra winners. These are the men of steel who have given their everything to keep our country safe with acts of supreme and selfless bravery. They have won the country's highest wartime gallantry award. So these all are the Paramvir Chakra winners. There are total 21 Paramvir Chakra winners. You can see all in this picture. The first Paramvir Chakra was awarded to Major Somnath Sharma. Major Sharma, he was with a broken arm. He staved off enemy attacking on Badgam Aerodrome and Srinagar. He was personally filling magazines and issuing them to the light machine gunners. His death inspired the fellow soldiers to fight the enemy 7.1 for 6 hours. So dear students, this Major Somnath Sharma, he was awarded first the Paramvir Chakra. Now let's understand the more about Paramvir Chakra throughout this chapter. So just come back on your page number 20, 1.7, Paramvir Chakra are heroes. Page number 20, chapter number 1.7, Paramvir Chakra are heroes. You may have heard about legendary heroes of the past and their extraordinary acts of bravery. But even today, many brave soldiers of our country sacrifice their own lives for our safety. Their brave deeds are honored by bestowing military decorations on them. Paramvir Chakra is India's highest military decoration. It is awarded for the most conspicuous bravery or some daring or preeminent act of valor or self-sacrifice. In the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea, or in the air, the Paramvir Chakra is a very rare honor. So far, it has been awarded only 21 times. 14 of these awards were given posthumously. Dear students, legendary means very famous. So Paramvir Chakra is a very famous award. And you may have heard about the legendary heroes, means very famous heroes, the brave soldiers, for their act or for their past of extraordinary act of their bravery. But even today, in many soldiers of our country sacrifice their lives for our safety. So their brave deeds, the brave soldiers' brave deeds are honored by bestowing military decorations on them. Bestowing means what? Giving something to somebody to show how much they are respected. So these brave soldiers are honored for their brave deeds by giving them or by giving the military decorations. Military decoration means military award, by bestowing them military award on them. Military award means what? Which award? Paramvir Chakra. So Paramvir Chakra is India's highest military decoration. The Paramvir Chakra, this award is the highest military award, and it is rewarded for the most conspicuous bravery or some daring or preeminent act. Conspicuous means something that attracts attention. So this award is been awarded for the most conspicuous, for the most attractive or something that attracts attention. For those bravery or some daring, this award has been awarded, especially for the brave soldiers in the presence of the enemy, whether on land, at sea, or in the air. So the Paramvir Chakra is a very rare honor, and so far it has been awarded only 21 times. As I have told you all in the introduction part that total 21 of the Indians have received this award, Paramvir Chakra, have been honored by the award Indian military decorations, one of the highest military decoration. Whereas among those 21, the 14 of these awards were given posthumously. Posthumously means after a person's death. That means after the brave person's or brave soldier's death, this award is been awarded to them. So this award has been awarded, or this award should be given by the President of India, and in the absence of the persons, the posthumously, this award is given posthumously means after the person's death. So this award is been awarded to a persons, to the brave persons, and this can be handed over to their family members. So among those 21 of these, only 14 of them have got this award, or they have received this award posthumously. So in your textbook page number 20, the description is given about this Paramvir Chakra. You can see the Paramvir Chakra here as I have shown you all in introduction part. The medal itself is a very simple in appearance. This medal is very simple in appearance, and it is made of bronze and is featured with swivel mountain and has a plain purple ribbon. You can see on the top the purple ribbon has been placed. On the observe, it has the Indian national emblem at the center, surrounded by 4 replicas of Indra's Vajra. So dear students, replicas means a very good or exact copy. So you can see on the observe, it has an Indian national emblem at the center, which is surrounded by 4 replicas of Indra's Vajra. On the reserve, the words Paramvir Chakra are engraved in Hindi and English with 2 lotus flowers in between. So dear students, this Paramvir Chakra, this award has been engraved in 2 languages. Engraved means to cut words or designs on wood, stone or metal. You can see on the stones, on the wood or on the metal, it is been engraved. Okay, engraved means to cut words or designs on wood, to write the names or to engrave it on the wood. So this Paramvir Chakra, this name is been engraved in Hindi and English, both language, with 2 lotus flowers in between. The Paramvir Chakra medal was designed by Savitribai Khanolkar. She was a European lady who married Vikram Khanolkar, an Indian army officer. Savitribai loved India and took Indian citizenship. She spoke Marathi, Sanskrit, Hindi fluently and had studied Indian arts and traditions in depth. So dear students, this award or the Paramvir Chakra medal, it was designed by Savitribai Khanolkar, who was a European lady, and she was married to the Vikram Khanolkar, who was an Indian army officer. And Savitribai loved India and she took Indian citizenship too. She also took Indian citizenship, and she spoke, though she was a European lady, she spoke Marathi, Sanskrit, Hindi fluently. She used to speak these 3 languages very fluently. And further, she had studied Indian arts and traditions in depth. Now let's try to understand the story of Indra's Vajra, the story behind it. Indra's Vajra or thunderbolt is supposed to be a matchless weapon. But what makes a weapon invisible is a supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij. So, dear students, the Indra's Vaja or thunderbolt. Thunderbolt means what? A flash of lightning along with thunder that strikes at something. So this is so good, matchless. Matchless means so good that nothing can compare with. Indra's Vajra or thunderbolt is supposed to be a matchless weapon. This was supposed to a matchless weapon means we cannot compare these both. But what makes a weapon invincible? Invincible means unbeatable. Is the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij. So what makes this weapon impossible to defeat or unbeatable? The story behind is that the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij. According to legend, thousands of years ago, a demon has stolen all the water in the world. Innocent people were suffering and dying without water. This demon could not be defeated by any ordinary weapon made of ordinary material like wood, metal, etc. Something extraordinary was required. It was learnt that the sage Dadhij had bones of such extraordinary power. But how could one ask for the bones of a living man? Sage Dadhij was a noble person. He himself laid down his life and gave his own bones to help the people. Indra's Vajra, Indra's weapon of thunderbolts, was fashioned from these bones and the demon was defeated. Supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij. Sage means wise. Sage means wise. So the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij makes Indra's Vajra invisible. So according to the legend, thousands of years ago, a demon had stolen all the water in the world. Demon means an evil. In other words, Rakshas. Okay. So a demon had stolen all the water in the world and innocent people died because of lack of water. There was scarcity of water, that's why the innocent people were suffering and dying without water. And this demon could not be defeated by a weapon made of ordinary material like wood, metal, etc. So students, this demon मतलब वो राक्षस को ऐसे ही मारा नहीं सकता. Like the demon could not be defeated. This demon, this evil, it cannot be defeated by a weapon made of ordinary material, made of ordinary things like wood, metal, etc. Some extraordinary was needed to kill the demon. And it came to be known that the sage Dadhij, means the wise Dadhij, had bones that had extraordinary power. So the sage was a noble person. When he came to know this, he sacrificed his life and gave his own bones to make the weapon to help the people. So that's why Indra's Vajra is known as the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij, and it makes Indra's Vajra is invisible. Invincible, why? Because it was the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij that makes Indra's Vajra invisible. Invincible means, as I have told you all, invisible means unbeatable because the supreme sacrifice of the sage Dadhij. So no one can defeat this demon because it could not be defeated by any ordinary weapon. But the sage Dadhij, it was having some extraordinary bones which was having extraordinary power, and that was required to kill the demon. But no one would ask the sage Dadhij because he was a living man. How a living man could be asked for his bones? So sage Dadhij was a noble person. He himself laid down his life and gave his own bones to help the people. And Indra's Vajra, Indra's weapon of thunderbolts, was fashioned from these bones, and the demon was defeated. So, students, this sage was a noble person. When he came to know this, that his bones are extraordinary, powerful, which are having the more power, and he just sacrificed his life and gave his bones to make the weapon to help the people to kill the demon. And thus, the Indra's Vajra was a weapon made from these bones of Sage the Dich, and the demon was defeated with the use of this weapon. So, the demon who has stolen all the water in the world was defeated by the bones of the Sage the Dich. The weapon was made of the bones of the Sage the Dich to defeat the demon. Just as the Indra's Vajra derived power from Sage the Dich bones, the Indian military derives its strength and power from the sacrifice of the bravest of the brave, the Paramvir Chakra holders. So, students, as the Indra's Vajra derived the power from the sage, from the wise Dadij bones, Indra's Vajra, this was made by the power of the sage Dadij bones. The weapon was named as the Indra's Vajra. It was derived power from sage Dadij bones. So the Indian military also derives its strength and power from the sacrifice of the bravest of the brave. From what? From the Paramvir Chakra holders. So the Paramvir Chakra holders, they also derives its strength and power from the sacrifice of the bravest of the brave. Just turn your page number 21. Students, on the page number 21, on your left hand side, the 21 bravest of brave Paramvir names are given here. Paramvir means who? The brave soldiers of our country, of our nation. So they are names who have these 21 bravest of the brave Paramvir who have received the Paramvir Chakra, the award, the military award. These names are Major Somnath Sharma. He received the first Paramvir Chakra. As I have told you all in the starting, in the beginning of the chapter, I have explained you all. Lance Naik Karam Singh. Second Lieutenant Rama Raghoba Rane. Naik Jadunath Singh. Company Havildar Major Piru. Captain Gurbachan Singh Salaria. Major Dhan Singh Thapa. Subedar Joginder Singh. Major Shaitan Singh. Company Quarter Master Havildar Abdul Hamid. Lieutenant Colonel Ardeshir Burzorji Tarapuri. Lance Naik Albert Ikka. Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal. Major Hoshiar Singh. Naib Subedar Bana Singh. Major Ramaswamy Parameswar. Lieutenant Manoj Kumar Pandey. Grenadier Yogedar Singh Yadav. Rifleman Sanjay Kumar. Captain Vikram Batra. Flying Officer Nirmal Jeet Singh Sekhon. So these are the names of the 21 bravest of the brave Paramvir. Veer means the brave, bravery, or the brave persons, the brave soldiers. Flying Officer Nirmal Jeet Singh Sekhon. Squadron number 18, the Flying Bullets, who have received the Paramvir Chakra. So his story is given, his sacrifice, the story about him is given here. Let's try to understand it. On the 14th of December 1971, Srinagar airfield was attacked by a wave of 6 enemy Sabre aircraft. Flying officer Nirmaljit Singh Sekon was on readiness duty at that time. He could not take off immediately because of clouds of dust raised by another aircraft. By the time the runway was clear, the enemy aircraft were overhead. They were flying low, firing and attacking the airfield with bombs. Even the flying officer Sekon took off in his Nant fighter the moment he could. He began to combat the powerful Sabre jet airways of the enemy. He damaged 2 of them. His fight with the attacking aircraft now continued at tree top height. At last, the enemy aircraft fled from the scene of battle. The airfield and the town of Srinagar were saved, but alas, flying officer Sekon aircraft too crashed and he was killed. Flying officer Sekon displayed great flying skill and determination in the face of certain death. He showed unmatched heroism above and beyond the call of duty. Salute to the bravest of the brave, Flying Officer Nirmaljit Sekon. So, dear students, the bravest Nirmaljit Singh Sekon, he received Paramvir Chakra and he was born on 17 July 1943 and died on 14 December 1971. Also, he was an officer of an Indian Air Force and he was posthumously awarded. Posthumously means what? He was awarded after his death. He was honored by the Paramvir Chakra after his death. Paramvir Chakra in recognition of his lone defense of Srinagar Air Base against a Pakistan Air Force air raid during Indo-Pakistani War of 1971. So the war was between India and Pakistan, which was held or which was going on in the year 1971. And he is the only member of the Indian Air Force to be honored with the Paramvir Chakra award. So Nirmaljit Singh Sekon, he is one of the bravest flying officer of the Indian Air Force. Also, children, his statue along with his decommissioned Poland Nat fighter has been placed in India Air Force in Museum Palam. So he was the only Indian Air Force personnel to be awarded the Paramvir Chakra. And flying his Nat, he defended the Srinagar airfield alone from 6 Pakistani Sabre jets, taking down 2 enemy jets. He laid down his life when these aircraft was shot down by the gunfire of one of the Sabres. And his statue along with his decommissioned Poland Nat aircraft has been placed in the Indian Air Force Museum, Palam, New Delhi. So students, I hope so that you have understood this chapter very well. Now both chapters, question answers and their meanings I am sending you all through WhatsApp. So here we completed unit 1. So whatever notes I am sending you all through WhatsApp, just write down in your notebook. Meanings just note down in your notebook, and whatever the question answers are there, just I request you all to write in neat and clean handwriting in your combined book and send me the image of it today itself before 6 p.m. Now in the next lecture we'll see the grammar part. Till that, stay connected, stay safe.